Well, mass protests are taking place right now in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Attendees are holding him personally responsible for their deaths, arguing that he failed to ensure the hostages return home safely. As you can see from these live pictures coming to us at the moment, it's been steadily getting more and more violent just over the past 15 minutes or so. But earlier, Alistair Bunkle filed this report from Jerusalem.
It's fair to say Israel has been in shock all day since the confirmation of the news early this morning that 6 hostages were found dead in Gaza. The IDF say they were murdered by Hamas. They haven't revealed information of how they come to that conclusion, but I was on a briefing earlier and they are very certain that that was what happened to the 6 hostages. They say that their soldiers were close to finding them. They were closing in on the tunnel where they were held, but the hostages were killed before the soldiers managed to find them. As I say, a lot of shock in Israel, a lot of anger too. The IDF, Benjamin Netanyahu, holding Hamas responsible. But a lot of people in Israel believe that Benjamin Netanyahu is to blame for not having agreed a ceasefire deal sooner. They accuse him of blocking it, putting in extra conditions Hamas will never agree to. There's massive protests across the country. In Jerusalem, outside the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, and Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Here, the main protest in Tel Aviv. It is impossible to estimate how many people have turned up. They were hoping for around 500,000. I would say, at a rough guess, it's at least a few 100,000. It is outside the Israeli Ministry of Defense, where Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet meet very regularly. They are calling for him to go, or at least for him to change his position. There's going to be a nationwide strike tomorrow called by the country's leading labour union, designed to bring Israel to a standstill. Ben Gurion Airport, the country's main airport, will shut down. Shops, businesses, restaurants will all close as well to put pressure on the Israeli Prime Minister. The Israeli TV networks, I can see now, they've cancelled all their scheduling for tonight, their usual programming for Sunday night, in order to take the events across the country live. These 6 hostages, men and women, they were alive. They were supposed to come out alive. People here believed that they would be freed in a hostage deal. And so the news of their death, the news of their killings, has reverberated strongly around the country. And more than one person has told me they think that this is a pivotal moment. These protests have been taking place every week since October the 7th. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, up and down the country. But by and large, Netanyahu has ignored them. This time they're determined to make sure it is different, that they will come out in force, in numbers, bring Israel to a standstill, and they will do anything they need to do in order to force the deal through.
Yeah, let's just return to these live pictures coming to us now from Israel. Just off the back of Alistair Bunkle's report there, it does feel as though this could well be a flashpoint. This will no doubt become the centre of attention when it comes to Middle Eastern politics over the course of the next couple of days. But we'll continue watching these pictures for us too. Just in the past 15 minutes or so, we saw a couple of scuffles that broke out between those protesters and police who are trying to control it as well. Of course, if you just joined us, this is all about those 6 hostages, the bodies that were found. And this just energises the debate or the feelings, particularly among those protesters, that Benjamin Netanyahu should be working with greater urgency to try and bring them home and bring them home alive.